Dear students of class 8A and 8B, wish you a very happy new year. Today's teaching, I am going to teach you with the same lesson, lesson number 13, the remaining part of the lesson, now I am going to teach you. You see, here are the points mentioned. Number 1, moderate era. 2, radical phase. 3, Gandhian era. 4, partition of Bengal. And 5, Swadeshi and boycott movement. You know, Indian national movement was divided into 3 eras. The first one is moderate era, second one is radical phase, and third one is Gandhian era. Now, what is moderate era? The Congress was, led and controlled by the moderate leaders during the first 20 years. These prominent leaders were Dadabhai Nauroji, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, sorry, not Bipin Chandra Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, not Lala Lajpat Rai. The moderate leaders were Dadabhai Nauroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Surendranath Banerjee, Madan Mohan Malabha. They were the moderate leaders. By mistake, I named about the radicalist or radical leaders. Who were they? They were Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, and another one that was Aurobindo Ghosh. Later on I shall discuss about them, who were, the radicalists. Now I am going to discuss about the moderates. So the eminent and prominent leaders of the moderate era were Dadabhai Nauroji, Surendranath Banerjee, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Madan Mohan Malabha, and so on. Now, what were their aims and objectives? Their main aims was to attain, dominion status under the British control. They did not want to antagonize the British rule, because they thought that the Britishers were superior to the Indians. Although they were highly qualified, they received Western education, but still they had great respect and faith on the British. That's why they did not want to antagonize the British, they did not want to non-cooperate with the British. So the policies, whatever they framed, they sometimes protested it, but the technique and method of protest was very mild, very polite, because they realized that protesting against any act of injustice was important, but the technique and method through which they would protest it should be legible, should be polite, because they had great faith on British sense of justice. They thought that by approaching their demands, by placing their demands in a very legitimate way, or by producing their demands in a very mild language, would bring them success. The British would accept their demands, and the British would help them, and they would be able to establish the democratic rights of the citizens of India. That's why they wanted to bring changes in the administration of the country slowly but very peacefully. And second point, radical phase or radical era. What is radical phase? Before discussing about radical phase and radical era, I would like to introduce the demands of the moderate leaders or early nationalists. The early nationalists had some demands. They produced before the British. Number one, they favored increase the power of legislative council and create councils in the power provinces that did not have anyone else. They favored higher education for the Indians and posts in the government departments for the highly qualified Indians. And they also demanded Indian civil services they demanded civil service exams in India along with England, and they also demanded their share in the administration. They raised a demand for the reduction of land revenues and decided to bring some changes in the economic policies that would help Indian industries grow and expand welfare programs for public health and medication facilities, bring improvement in agricultural, irrigation, and so many facilities. They would like to make sure that would promote education ultimately. And what method they followed? They adapted peaceful means. As I mentioned earlier, the moderates never create any objection for the Britishers. Whatever policies the Britishers, would pass, they never make any objection because they realize that the cooperation with the British would bring them success ultimately. That's why their attitude was cooperative towards the British. And in fact, the Congress leaders never wanted the British to leave India, as they felt India could develop by staying within the British Empire, because they had faith in the British system of administration. That's why the moderate leaders wanted only dominion status. And next one, radical phase. The failure of the moderates, gave a rise of another group. The Congress, within the Congress, another group also raised their heads. Why and how? Because of failure of moderates. The moderates could not achieve success because of their moderate policy, mild language. But the radical phase and their leaders who became prominent during that time, who were they? Number one, Lala Lajpat Rai. Number two, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Number three, Bipin Chandra Pal, Aurobindo Ghosh, and so on. So this period of nationalism gave a rise of a new era, that is a radical era or radical phase. Now what method had they adopted? The method whatever they adopted, whatever they adopted were, number one, they believed in political action. They believed in violence. They hated non-violence. That's why their attitude was always aggressive towards the British, because they demanded immediate result. They did not want to wait long to have achievements. That's why they always adopted the policy of violence. This policy of violence, forced them to be competitors of the Britishers. The Britishers considered them to be their opponents. So ultimately, they all became the opponents of the British government. Adopted policy of Swadeshi, meaning of one's own country, boycott and national education as the plan of action aimed towards filling in India. And not only that, the British realized that during that time when they started ruling in India, they thought that the world was theirs and there was no authority but theirs. That's why they should be taught a good lesson. The radical leaders realized it. That's why they adopted Swadeshi and boycott movements. They started Swadeshi and boycott movements, and it became very two important means of mass action against the British. And for that reason, the Britishers from the very beginning became conscious of the radical leaders. The radicals believed that freedom from foreign rule would remove all social evils. And for that reason, Bal Gangadhar Tilak mobilized the masses by organizing festivals where people of all castes and communities participated. Ganesh Chaturthi in Maharashtra was one of these festivals. And the newspaper Kesari and Maratha, which were published by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, became mouthpieces of the radicals to spread nationalism and to spread nationalistic aspiration among them. Partition of Bengal was one of the most important factors, because partition of Bengal, which was implemented by Lord Curzon, the then Viceroy, during his time, it was decided that the British government would weaken the unity between the Hindus and Muslims. In order to weaken the relation between the Hindus and Muslims, Viceroy Lord Curzon partitioned Bengal into two halves. One was partition of Bengal, East, and one portion is with West. Since West portion was majority Hindu class people, and East was majority Muslim class people, that's why the British assured both the two communities that this partition was happening in the interest of both the two communities. And he also said to them, I shall be helping both the two communities until they will say that there is no difficulty between them. That means what they will do will be in the interest of both the two communities. That's why partition was important. Partition was bound. The official declaration, whatever he made in support of the partition of Bengal was a large province, and it was very hard to administer such a large province single-handed. That's why partition was important. And another one that is important, that is the reaction that followed the partition was unprecedented. Almost all people of India, they strongly supported the anti-partition movement. The people of India protested against the partition because they did not want to be partitioned between the two halves, and they wanted to strengthen healthy relation between the two communities, the Hindus and Muslims. That's why the radicalists started two movements, that was Swadeshi and boycott movements. And Swadeshi and boycott movements, people adapted this technique and method of struggle, and this technique and method of struggle encouraged the people to fight against the British. And not only that, this movement spread to other parts of India, and they boycotted of the following goods like British cloth, British sugar, British other goods, people who sold foreign goods, government posts, offices, schools, colleges and universities, all were boycotted by the Indian people. And use of English language, the English language which was used by the Indian people, they also boycotted it. So the British government took repressive measures to curb the movement. Many students were expelled from schools, colleges, universities. By the end of 1911, the government of India was compelled to annul the partition plan. But the British capital in India was shifted to Delhi from Calcutta. Why? Because Calcutta had become a great center of Indian nationalism. That's why the Britishers decided to shift capital from Calcutta to Delhi. And these are the important points, my dear students. The question is, Calcutta had become a north center for Indian nationalism, and so many British officials were being killed by the Indian revolutionaries. So many revolutionaries, the Lathi clubs, Lathi Akras of Maniktala case, and the revolution, killing of British officials through throwing bombs or by using pistol, they were killing them. So that incident took place in a regular way. That's why the Britishers decided to shift capital immediately from Calcutta to Delhi, from Calcutta, and shifted it for Delhi. So Delhi became the capital of India during the period in the year 1911. On that very year, another incident took place, that was the British annulled the partition of Bengal. The partition of Bengal, so the radical leaders during Swadesian boycott, through their technique and method of Swadesian boycott movements, they achieved success. They forced the British government to withdraw the partition plan, which was implemented by Lord Curzon in the year 1905. So ultimately, the British government was compelled to withdraw the partition plan in the year 1911. Up to this, my dear students, next day, the remaining part. Thank you.